Hello, it's time for Combat Patrol Carnage. It's another new week on Combat Patrol Carnage, so that means it's another new issue. We're on issue 18, this is our last issue for Delivery 5, and it gives us the last frame and bases for our second 10 Termagants with Ripper Swarm. So inside the issue then, we have of course our paint guide for them, so I'll be painting one on camera for you guys in just a sec. We learn about the Hive Worlds and Death Worlds of the Imperium, we learn about Successor Chapters, we have all about the Shadow in the Warp, and then we're moving on to learning about datasheet abilities before our latest game. So we're finally putting everything that's on the cards and units to use, as we now have 2 complete combat patrols. Of course, issue 18 came with a frame, and it's just this one. We got 4 bodies, but not the complete arms for one of them, sadly. But we can build 3 guys on this. We also get our 40mm base for the Ripper Swarm. I'm definitely leaving one off this time around for painting purposes. And we get our 10 28mm bases for the Termagants. So yeah, we've got a fun-filled issue to get in. But before we do, don't forget to do all the usual. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop me a comment down below. Now that we've had 2 complete combat patrols, which one has been your favourite to both build, paint, and even play with? For me, playing wise, definitely the Space Marines, but building and painting, I think I've enjoyed the Tyranids a little bit more, as it's doing things a little different to how I normally paint my Tyranids. So I don't really have a favourite at the moment, but in the future I might get a new favourite depending on the combat patrols we get. Finally then, Combat Patrol Carnage is proudly sponsored by warbay.shop, your one-stop supply for all your hobby needs. They have a large selection of new and used models for various different armies and game systems, and they also have gaming aids such as dice and tokens and hobby supplies as well. They also stock Combat Patrol magazine and a backstock of previous Partworks magazines from Hachette. So if you want some issues, check out the link in the video description and you can grab yourself your next hobby project at a bit of a discount. Right, let's head to the table, we'll paint our Termagant, and then we can add in to the unit ready for battle. So here we are with issue 18 then, and we got all our bases here. So our 40mm for the Ripper Swarm, and our 28mm for Termagants. So I'll put those to a side so I can get building. And we also have our last frame, so we get 4 bodies, but we are missing 1 gun, so we can't build complete models. But we do have at least arms, legs, guns, and bodies for 3 models there anyway. So yeah, pretty cool. I love these new models. Really nice. Love the extra detail they've put onto them. Much better than the chunkier models that they used to have. Right, into the magazine we'll go. So I'll give you the full contents and then we'll have a quick cover of our paint guide before I bring in my completed model to show you the paint guide in action. Full contents for issue 18 then. So we've got Termagants and Ripper Swarm Guide 12. Read articles. We have the Hive Worlds of the Imperium, Death Worlds of the Imperium, Successor Chapters of the Space Marines, and Shadow in the Warp of the Tyranids. Then finally for play articles, we got basics on datasheet abilities, and our latest scenario is Monster Hunter. So let's quickly cover the paint guide before I show you it in action. So, Termagant and Ripper Swarm. In this guide, you'll paint your second unit of Termagants and their associated Ripper Swarm. Here you'll cover techniques you've already used to paint your other unit of Termagants, making this a great chance to practice and consolidate some key painting skills. Read this guide in full before you begin. So first off, you want to undercoat and base coat your models. So undercoat with 3 coats of Wraithbone. Start base coating the Chitinous armor plates with Barracknar Burgundy there. Don't forget your Ripper Swarms as well. Tidy up any mistakes of Wraithbone. I'd say leave that till last though. Next up, painting the claws and hooves as well as the plates on the guns with Abaddon Black. Don't forget to do all the little claws and the tail on the Rippers. Screen of Pink is used to pick out any tongues on models, and finally Squig Orange is used to paint the guns. And that's our unit so far. Right, I'll bring in the paint desk and I'll show you how to paint these guys using this guide. Here we are with our Termagants ready to paint. As you can see, I've left the gun off, which is right here, so that we can reach all of those areas and get all the gun detail as well without making too many mistakes. So without further ado, we're going to our first colour, which is of course Barracknar Burgundy for that carapace. Get some ready on my palette. I'm now using my spare wet palette. So I've got the chance to keep my paint alive a little longer. So onto our model here then. I want to get Barracknar Burgundy over all that carapace. And due to the brightness of the Wraithbone, we'll probably want to do 2 coats of this. So while we're waiting for the Barracknar Burgundy to dry, we can move on to our next colour. And it's just for a small detail. We're going to go straight to the Screen of Pink and do the tongues. So won't need a lot of this, so we'll use our small layer brush. Onto our model, just work the pink into the mouth and onto the tongue. There we go, should be able to get away pretty much with just 1 coat. While we finish off waiting for the base model to dry, we're going to go Squig Orange and we'll paint the gun. What I have found the easiest way to do with the gun is to pretty much coat the majority of the model and then re-pick out the ammo, the eyes and the venting areas with Wraithbone when we come to the cleanup stage. Just try not to put too much paint over those areas, and we'll need probably just a 1 coat over the Wraithbone base. Just being careful where we need to avoid the hands. Don't worry about getting any on the carapace, we'll be painting that in the next step anyway. Now most of that's dry, we're going to move on to Abaddon Black. And we'll need a small layer brush again, as we got quite a lot of intricate detail to do. So we got the claws, And we got the hooves to do. And finally then, we got the carapace on the gun to do. So we've just got the front piece there and the rear piece. There we go. And all that's left to do is to tidy up any mistakes with Wraithbone. So on the gun here, we got the ammo. This tube back here I've accidentally spilt orange on. The eye there, and the hand fingers from the support arm as well. And there we go, one finished Termagant, ready to join the rest of the all-consuming claw. And that's our second unit of Termagants complete, ready to join the rest of our Tyranid combat patrol. As we move to continue with the rest of issue 18. So up next is our lore articles, and then we get to put our big old horde of Termagants to use in our latest mission. So I hope you join me for those. All that's left to do is say thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed the new zoomed in method for paint videos. It was something I tried. It's definitely works. I get more focus on the model at least. But yeah, when I pull away to do the painting, I do tend to lose focus. Something I definitely got to work and play around with, but I think it works a little better than the zoomed out method, as you see here at a 0.5 ratio. Definitely means I can keep the camera a little bit further away from my paint station as it's more zoomed in and focused. Let me know in the comment section if you think it was an improvement or if you preferred the basic sort of 1.0 ratio that I used to do videos in. But yeah, luckily this is just a sort of a reminder video anyway of how to paint Termagants, as we've had a previous 2 videos on them anyway. But yeah, as I said, up next is lore articles. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time on more Combat Patrol Carnage. Goodbye.